Hello, my name is Janet Reyes, and I'll be talking about learning in 2025. In particularly, I'll be focusing on future learning agents. Learning in 2025 may sound like it's a long way away, but it really is not. It's really only 10 years away, or less than a decade away. As we move into the future, we'll be encountered with a whole new world of educators and new learners, and education will have to change to meet their needs. Let's first take a look at an infographic titled A Glimpse into the Future of Learning. It basically stresses some points about what we might see in the new future, but it sums it up in one statement. These changes point the way toward a diverse learning ecosystem in which learning adapts to each child instead of each child trying to adapt to a school. That's really different from the way things once were and the way things are even now, and as we're changing, that we're going to see these changes come about. When you think of an agent, there are different types of agents. People might think of agents as a person or some type of official with authority. Some agents that we're more familiar with are law enforcement agents like FBI agents, travel agents who help you plan a trip or a vacation, insurance agents when we have to worry about getting car insurance or homeowners insurance, and then some maybe other specialty agents like talent agents. Educators have always had a very important role, but we might need to start thinking of them a little differently, or maybe even thinking of them as a future learning agent. 5 different types of learning agents that I will be talking about today are the assessment designer, a community intelligence cartographer, an eduvator, a learning fitness instructor, and a learning journey mentor. First agent we're going to be talking about is an assessment designer. An assessment designer creates assessments. They also evaluate assessments, communicate the results of assessments, the good and the bad. They also talk about what people are learning and how they're learning. Vanderbilt University values the assessment cycles and processes. This is their cycle that they use in creating assessments. Basically, though, they're using assessments for continuous improvement through a culture of evidence and inquiry. The next learning agent we'll be talking about is a community intelligence cartographer. They make interactive digital maps and create learning ecosystems. They're helping people navigate through all the different resources and perspectives that are available now. And because technology opens windows across the world and lines of communication, sometimes we need a map to guide us to places. Diane Skiba, she wrote for the Nursing Education Perspective, and she said, the increasing amount of open access resources available on the web and growing number of learning opportunities that are accessible from a variety of sources. So a cartographer can help a student decipher or fine-tune their map instead of having to be overwhelmed with so many different available resources. Catherine Prince wrote Innovating Toward a Vibrant Learning Ecosystem, and she identifies 10 pathways for transforming learning. And she divides those 10 into two. The first group is transforms the core of learning, and the second group is transforms the supporting systematic structures. So you can see that this is kind of a small little map that divides some areas up so people don't have to get so overwhelmed. Another learning agent is an eduvator. And an eduvator supports innovators in education. They think of education and innovators as entrepreneurs. They're looking for new solutions or searching for the next big idea to improve education. Janet and John Holland wrote an article titled Implications of Shifting Technology in Education. They write, new technologies offer a great way to invigorate instruction, whether in traditional classrooms, online, or in a blended learning environment. We also go to a report written for Partnerships for 21st Century Skills. The report is titled, Are They Really Ready for Work? In part 5 of the study, Defining Future Workforce Readiness, for the purpose of this study, creativity/innovation is defined as the ability to demonstrate originality, inventiveness in work, communicate new ideas to others, integrate knowledge across disciplines. As we move along, our next learning agent is a learning fitness instructor. A fitness instructor, you might think you need to go to the gym. Well, in some ways, your brain needs to work out, and it might not necessarily need to go to a gym, but a learning fitness instructor can help you develop your brain skills, help coaching cognitive functions, and help condition your brain and your body, because they both need to work together. If you're going to be good at something, you need to train and practice for it and prepare and balance out those skills so you can perform in the best way. With all this new technology and the lack of physical fitness in schools today, a learning fitness instructor could prove very beneficial. Our last learning agent that we're going to be talking about today is a learning journey mentor. A learning journey mentor serves as a guide in education. They will help get answers. They will motivate you. They will inspire you. They will help you with critical thinking. How will you think about something and help you make those inquiries to get to those next steps? You might have thought this sounds very much like a teacher. Well, it is a teacher, but it's going to be called a learning journey mentor now. An article written for Innovative Higher Education and says, distance education was defined as a formal educational process in which the instructor and the student are not in the same location. This was basically written up for distance education. But I think a learning journey mentor will help you with that because it's changed the way that learning is happening. It's not in a classroom anymore. Instructors and students could actually be in different places and still be in the same class. talked about the learning agents, but these learning agents will have to be ready because educators will have to prepare themselves for these future learners. The Institute for the Future states extreme learners are renegades who take charge of their own education. They apply novel feedback mechanisms and optimize their learning experiences. They have learned how to learn. So learning agents need to meet this need to accommodate these extreme learners. Here are my references for my presentation today. I really hope you learned something about the forecast of learning in 2025. Thank you.